Hello fellow makeup lovers, how are you guys doing today? I thought it would be really fun to go ahead and do a full face of some of the oldest makeup in my collection. Makeup that I've had for a really long time. Some of it probably is disgusting, like that old. I'm not gonna get rid of old powder products, so I don't need any judgmental comments, but I thought it'd be really fun to do just like a throwback face of makeup. I also pulled out a brand new sponge from AOA Studio because I have not used a sponge to do my makeup in so long, and this used to be my obsession, so I tried to pull out the best that I could. I did do a major declutter when I moved from my apartment and I got rid of so much stuff, but this is what is left and I'm gonna do the best that I can and hopefully it is fun. That's the goal. I'm gonna start off with the Becca First Light Priming Filter, and this is not that old of a product, like this one in particular, but it is one that I've used for years and years and years. And I think this is my third bottle. Actually, Makeup Just for Fun gave this to me because she had it extra and I said how much I love it, and I was sad that Becca wasn't a brand anymore and I couldn't buy it anymore. So she gave me the one that she had because it had barely been used at all. I can't remember exactly how long ago I started loving this primer, but it was several years ago. And I just feel like it's like the really nice, like moisturizing, adds a little bit of glow to the skin, just a really light base to your makeup kind of vibe. Nowadays, I normally just go in with some moisturizer, but this is definitely a similar vibe. I don't really have that many like super old foundations just because it's a liquid product. I don't like to hold on to it if I don't love it, if I'm not using it. And I have gone through several foundations, but I would say the one that I've had in my collection the longest, because I've repurchased this, I think this is my second or my third bottle, is the IT Cosmetics Your Skin But Better CC Plus Color Correcting Full Coverage Cream plus Anti-Aging Hydrating Serum plus SPF 50 Broad Spectrum Physical Sunscreen, longest name ever. I have the shade Fair. I'm constantly in a love-hate relationship with this foundation because the shade range sucks. It truly, truly does. I mean, I don't know if you guys can tell, it's definitely a little bit too dark for me. And that, like, just in general, the shade range is not good. But it's so beautiful on the skin. Like, the glow is just so, so pretty. And I did buy their new foundation, which has a better shade range. But I definitely prefer this formula better. I just think it looks nicer on the skin. Although, obviously, I have to bring that down my neck or I'm gonna look like an Oompa Loompa. Honestly, it is applying so pretty with a sponge. Looks so glowy and soft. Well, for concealer, we technically have two different options. So I have the NARS concealer in the shade Chantilly, and I owned this years and years ago, and I recently repurchased it. And I do really like it, but I'm hesitant to use this as like my oldest makeup product, even though I did have this years and years and years ago. I feel like the Tarte Shape Tape has just been my consistent concealer that I've had a bottle of for so long, like at least 6 years, something like that. So this one is in the shade Fair Beige, and I still like the Tarte Shape Tape. I mean, I don't know what to say. I know people don't love it anymore. I was about to say this is more of a highlighted shade on me, but I think it's just that it's pretty close to my skin tone and the foundation is darker, so it's making it look lighter. It's an illusion. But just gonna go ahead and add a little bit of that. And I know people with dry skin do not like this concealer, but I don't have any issues with it. It could also just be that I'm 25. I don't have like a ton of fine lines. It doesn't really get caught underneath my eyes or anything like that. So who knows, in time, it could fall off and I could end up not liking it anymore. And it's not even my favorite concealer, but I do still enjoy it. It's definitely giving a little bit less coverage because of the sponge. I will say that, because y'all know I'm obsessed with the Anissa Beauty Concealer Brush, and this definitely makes concealers basically as full coverage as they can possibly get. Next up, we have a product that you guys might judge me for, but I already warned you to be nice to me. So this is the NARS Laguna Bronzer. Y'all, I bought this when I was in high school. So here's what it looks like. It's just a bronzer, It's not the right shade for me at all. Don't ask me why I still have it. I don't even like it. There's just something about it that I can't get rid of it. I don't even remember it blending that nicely. Like, I don't have anything good to say about it, but somehow it has survived all of my declutters. So I'm just gonna go ahead and grab that on a fluffy brush. Let's see what happens. I mean, the pigment is still there. I just feel like this can tend to get a little bit muddy on my skin. I just have so many things that are like nicer tones for me, or that just work better for my skin tone. I think what really made me want to keep it is the fact that when I bought it, it was such a splurge. Like, nowadays, if it was like, oh, $30 whatever for a bronzer, I'd just be like, okay, that's fine, like not a big deal. But when I was in high school, it was like, that's it, that's the bronzer I'm going to use every day for the rest of my life. Okay, I mean, honestly, it does not look bad. I'm not mad at it. Okay, and then I also went ahead and pulled out a blush, and it was really hard to decide what's my oldest blush because I don't know why my brain just wasn't functioning in that moment. But I feel like it could possibly be Milani Luminoso. I think that this is the second Luminoso that I've had. I'm pretty sure I had one originally that I lost, if I remember correctly, or at least I had one of their baked blushes a long time ago. So I'm just gonna go ahead and add that on the tops of my cheekbones for a little glow. You know what I wish I had? I was just thinking about, I used to love the Balm Mary Luminizer. I don't even know if they make her anymore. That used to be one of my go-to highlights. I did go ahead and pull out a powder. It's not like super, super old, but it's something. So this is the Flower Beauty Satin Finishing Powder. I don't know if they even have this anymore, but I remember really loving it when I first got it. And it has like this super extravagant packaging. But, oh, that was a lot. I just really liked this powder because I feel like it's not mattifying on the skin while it still like sets a little bit. So I don't know, I just thought I'd pull it back out. I don't have any powders that are super old. The oldest powder would be the RCMA powder, but I don't have that anymore. That used to be my go-to powder for a really, really long time. I love that it sets the skin without being super flat, but I don't really wear powder anymore. So the whole look is just very throwback. So for highlighter, I've had this for so long. This is definitely the oldest highlight in my collection, and it doesn't even work for my skin tone, but I'm going to use a little bit of it just for the heck of it. This is the Becca Champagne Pop Highlighter. This was one of the first collab makeup products, and I just needed it in my life, and then I got it, and I was like, I'm way too pale for this. I'm gonna go ahead and add a little bit of it on as like a blush topper. See, it just has that like little streak to it. Okay, just add a little bit right there. A little glow. I'm pretty sure that I got this when I was 18, if I remember correctly. Again, don't know why I have it. Don't even love it that much. It just feels like a piece of makeup history. I'm gonna grab a little bit of the shade Moonstone from Becca. I haven't had this one for quite as long, but I just felt like it was like same vibes, and I wanted to do something a little tiny bit lighter on top, just something better for my skin tone. It's giving 2015. Okay, I'm sorry. As much as I love you guys, I'm not gonna do my brows the way that I used to do my brows. Like, it's just not happening. Don't even ask me to put out a brow pomade. Like, no. I'm gonna do some natural soft brows that go with my face real quick, and I'll be right back. I don't think it would be a throwback if I didn't use a super intense eyeshadow primer. This is the P. Louise base in the shade Rumor 0.5. I used the original Rumor shade for a while before this shade came out, which is a little bit closer to my skin tone. And recently, this has just not been my vibe. I've just been going for a really soft, ooh, I think I may have added too much. Dang, that's a lot of eyeshadow primer. Ooh, okay. Mistakes were just made. Okay. Maybe I'll go with my sponge. What was I saying? Recently, I've been just doing a really lightweight eyeshadow primer every day, like just something super, super quick. The sponge came through on that one. That was not good. So for eyeshadow palettes, as far as like anything super old, I didn't have as many options because like I said, I decluttered, but one really old throwback palette that I just couldn't get rid of is the Colourpop and Kathleen Light's Dream Street palette. I just loved this one. I thought it was such a good neutral palette, like such a nice color story from Colourpop and a really good formula, because for me personally, I feel like some of their shadows can be hit and miss. I use this so much that I pan on it. Like it was just an absolute favorite. So I thought we could do a look with it today. These shadows actually don't have any names, but I'm just gonna start off probably with this shade on my inner corner, just for a little highlighting moment. I still remember when Colourpop came out with their very first eyeshadow palette and everyone was freaking out and we were all so excited. And now it's like 1 million palettes later. I did own the original first one, but I think I sold it in like a declutter online or something because I thought it wasn't that good of a palette, in my humble opinion. Okay, this is giving some cute little peachy vibes. I think I'm gonna use this shade next, this matte peach. Just a fluffy blending brush through my crease. Okay, it's a little bit more orange than I was expecting. I have not used this palette in so long. Again, it's kind of one of those things I just keep. I don't really use as much. Of course, right now, as soon as I start filming, my cats are licking each other like there's no tomorrow. Am I the only one who just like can't stand that sound? I'm gonna run that peach matte along the lower lash line too. I'm gonna go into the shade that I hit pan on now, that warm brown, with a slightly smaller blending brush and just throw that in my outer V. Just to add a little depth, but I feel like this is just such a cute little peachy look. And I don't really go for these colors as much anymore. This is feeling very, very warm for me. But I used to love warm eye looks. Okay, I think lastly, I'm gonna take this like kind of pinky, rose goldy satin shade. Just looks like that. And pop it on the lid. I just realized I forgot a step. Dang it. So one of the things that I felt was also a throwback for me because I used to use it in nearly every look and I barely reach for it anymore is the NYX glitter primer. I've also had that for a really long time, but I just totally forgot to use that before I did the lid shade. But that's okay, it still looks cute. I mean, honestly, not bad for a palette that I think this came out like 4 or 5 years ago. Could be worse. I don't really have any mascara. Obviously, that would be really, like, that would be crossing the line. Disgusting, any mascara that old. I'm just going to use the mascara that I'm currently been using. It's the Lash Princess mascara from Essence, but I know that this is a mascara that's been around a while that people love. I'm not one of them though because I feel like it transfers too much for me and it just ends up like getting all underneath my lashes. It flakes, like it looks pretty until it doesn't. So when I think of throwback, my oldest makeup, I definitely think of matte liquid lipsticks, and one of the older ones that I have is from Kylie Cosmetics. This is the shade Brown Sugar, which is actually a really pretty, like, deeper nude on me. I'm such a gloss girl right now. I feel like I'm going against my own nature putting this on my lips, but we're gonna do it for the video. It's like I wanna hate it, but I love it. I love the lipstick. I think it looks so pretty. Even though it is so dry and I feel like it's sucking the life out of my lips right now, I actually love the look overall. I can't lie, I feel cute. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I would love to know if you have any really old makeup products just lingering in your collection that you can't let go of. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye.